What is going on, boys and girls of YouTube? So, if you've been paying attention lately, Smite 2 has been going through the ringer like very quickly. I'm sure that a bunch of random people are going to hate. HiRez managed to pull back and save a lot of the damage they did. If you didn't know, a little over a year ago in August of 2024, HiRez dropped the alpha for Smite 2, where it wasn't, you could play it every day, you could play it on this weekend, and then it was gone for a week, and you play it on the weekend, right? They dropped it. Crazy drop, to be honest. A lot of interest. Not a lot of people playing because it was a paid thing, but like I had 10,000 viewers. I had 8K or 7K on Twitch and like 3 or 4K on YouTube. So people were interested. It was crazy, but the game sucked. Like right away, you could tell the game was really bad. So that is where HiRez initially messed up. Everyone's, well, they should have dropped later, but that we're past that. Like if you're, everything is hindsight that you're going to say, what you're saying is irrelevant. Stop saying it. It's just broken record. Like kind of almost like what you think I'm doing here probably. But anyway, that was where things were, started. Problem because of that drop. Nobody was interested in playing the game. No one wanted to play. It was bad. I didn't even want to play. Then come January, February of this year, 2025, they fixed, well, they acknowledged the mistakes and they made a big fix. Like right that day that they acknowledged everything and they came out and had a big conversation about it. They dropped the big patch that fixed the gameplay. Then very rapidly, they changed the pace of god drops. They fixed basically everything, did more than fix. They made the gameplay great, right? And since then, from I'd say we'll say February 2025 until end of August, maybe like 25th of August, maybe just end of August, the player base was rising. Like we were on a good comeback. Then all of a sudden, literally all of a sudden, like within a week, the player numbers started hard dropping again. I think we were peaking at like 7K, maybe 7,400, which is good. Like, that's on just Steam. Consoles bigger than Steam, much bigger than Steam. So probably peaking somewhere around 20K, maybe a little under, maybe 18, maybe a little over. I don't know. We won't ever actually have those hard numbers unless HiRez drops them. That's a good comeback to come from 1K concurrent players on Steam, get up to 7K in a year, essentially. But now we're seeing it fall off again. The gameplay has not got worse. The problem is they are, in my mind, this is where my problem lies. I think Smite 2's gameplay is better than Smite 1 ever was. Most people that played the game agree. Their problem is with the player base. And I think this is heavily stemming from HiRez, and Kilgoon is the new person running HiRez. He is very heavily focused, and his prominent drive is for new player acquisition and retention, which I respect. It's good to get new players, right? The issue is, in doing so, they are heavily neglecting, this is also my opinion, the veteran players, the Smite 1 players you would be pulling, trying to get to play Smite 2, the players that touched Smite 2 at the beginning, but haven't come back since they made it better. Those players are being neglected. They say they aren't. I was sitting in a Q&A during one of their Titan talks where someone asked a similar question about it, and they basically said, we think we're doing a good job. Strongly disagree. The veteran players strongly disagree. I hear this every night while I'm streaming. I'm not saying you're not doing anything. Clearly, you guys are still dropping an old god once every 2 weeks. You're messing around with balancing. The gameplay to me is good, so I'm not complaining about that. Your problem is the neglection. Is that a word? The neglecting is in the lack of content for veteran players. There is nothing making people want to log in. When you guys did your 1 month patches in Smite 1, I think it was a lot easier for you. You had more time. You could really hone in on things, and then you could kind of push and hype it up and build into it and make sure it was good. Well, the bugginess is making a lot of veteran players not want to play. The lack of good players, because your competitive scene is gone, is making people not want to play. I didn't realize this problem until I started day queuing. I sit in casual queues from 4 to 6 minutes, which I don't think is insane, but I feel like that's a little long for a casual queue. Like a ranked queue makes more sense to me, but a casual queue where you're just kind of filling, especially since you don't have role queue and it's just preferred role, but you usually get off rolled anyway. There are some things that just don't make sense to me, and I don't understand what you're doing. And then when you dive into it and they're saying they're doing really good with new player acquisition and retention. Why are we losing players? Because I can answer the question. Your veteran and your consistent players are stopping. They're not playing anymore. And that fall off is higher than the amount of new players you're gaining. So you're losing veteran players faster than you're gaining new players, which means new player acquisition being your primary focus is bad if you're going down in player base. It doesn't make any sense. I'm at the point now where I'm not, and no, they don't give me, they used to give me gems in Smite 1 every patch. I don't get diamonds in Smite 2. I bought my own diamonds. I'm not spending any more money on this game until I hear and see something that makes sense. Right now, I've only talked about the player base going down, and it's not crazy severe. Like, don't get me wrong. I feel it more because I'm on the higher end of gameplay. So, like I said, the good players are leaving, so worse players are moving up, and it's making games not competitive and not feel good at all. I think if you look at it week to week, I'm sure Daedra can pull up the information. I can pull it up right now. I've looked at it like on and off. I stopped really paying attention to player bases, the numbers, because it really just didn't feel like it mattered. But now when I can physically feel it in the game, it matters, right? So if you look at it on the Sunday, the 31st, we had 6863 as our peak player number. Then the next Sunday, we were at 6200. Then the next Sunday, we were at 6100. Then the next Sunday, we were at 6,000. And I'm telling you, I can feel this. And it's in, while those peaks are lower, the lows are even lower. Friday, 5,200 peak. The next Friday, 5,300 peak. The Friday after that, 5,300. So it kind of hovered. It's a problem, in my opinion. And if you're like game dead, the game is not, the gameplay is great. It's the way they're handling the non-hype and the non-content for the people that are the ones that play every week. For the people are the ones that are coming from Smite 1. For the people that are the ones that grind the game. Now, I've given you general like problems, what's going on. I didn't talk about the content yet. The content side of the game is insanely suffering. I mean, horribly suffering. And if you look back at when people were saying I was dooming Smite 2 in the beginning, which I was not. I was giving very constructive criticism, which they ended up using to make the game better. I'm not trying to do them right now. I am being very realistic. I'm going to tell you all what I think the good solution is, which are probably really hard to do solutions, or maybe just not even thought of. I don't know. But the content side of things are dying off, right? That has a trickle effect. I mentioned this in Smite 2 at the beginning when it was failing. The trickle effect of content not being absorbed is a very big indicator of the future of the game. I don't care what you say. I don't care if you don't like streamers or YouTubers or whatever content creators, you think they're irrelevant. You're trolling. You're completely trolling. I have had thousands of comments saying they're playing Smite 2 because of X video I made. So you're considering we only have thousands of people a day. You're like, it's crazy troll to begin with to say that. But the trickle down effect is if people aren't watching, word of mouth isn't going out. If people aren't watching, no videos are getting more views, pulling in new players, right? So if I make a really good video and the regular players consume it, it gets pushed out to more people. Maybe people that haven't touched Smite 2 yet, maybe people that haven't touched in a while. The comments are there. Like if you read my comments, they're there. This is a fact. I'm not making this stuff up, right? If you aren't producing in-game content to make regular out-of-game content on that people want to watch or see or whatever, you're going to see it and feel it in the game. You're going to see the player base drop. You're going to see the people that make content leave. You've already seen the competitive players leave because you removed the SPL. The trickle down from these top end decisions are massively impactful. And I don't know why it's shocking to them. I don't know who their marketing lead is, but I feel like this should be very obvious. Okay. Now, if you want the direct reason people aren't watching content, Smite 2 content has never truly been about just pure entertainment. For whatever reason. I don't know why. It's always been about learning. Whether it's learning something fun to play for the day, whether it's learning how to play a god correctly, it's been about learning. Now, you remove the SPL, and there's no pro scene, those players leave. Those players leave, the next set of players that move up aren't really playing for anything, and then the players below them are seeing that, and the players below that are seeing that, and they're like, why, what am I learning for? Like, I can already, the bad players are already getting to 40, 4,000 rating, 4,400, whatever. I don't need to learn to get to there. So what do I need to learn for to get better? There's no pro scene. I'm not trying to be great. That has been insanely impactful in the numbers on content. Massive. And I'm not just talking about myself. This is the whole category, Twitch, YouTube, everything, the whole Smite 2 category. Now, my one issue I have is for HiRez's side, if they're not going to do in-game content, the very least thing that they could do is Twitch drops. Their Twitch drops are coins. The coins in the game are coins you get from playing. You use the coins to buy skins in the Travelers packs. You max out on them so easily. I barely play anything but customs. I do not get coins in customs, and I always have like 15 to 20,000 coins to buy whatever I want. So watching streams is irrelevant in terms of drops. if you have a good drop, and this is proven, once again, I'm sure some haters, you shouldn't need drops to make good content. That's not the point here, okay? You can make, I have made content in Smite that takes a week and everyone loves, all the comments are good, but it's one of my lowest viewed videos. That's not how this category and that's not how Smite works. It never is, it never will be, it's fine. But HiRez can easily do their part in having a recolor skin every 2 weeks on Twitch for a drop, or every month. So people can come in, watch stream, enjoy the game, because that will get people to watch, put eyes on your game for nothing, because recoloring a skin is you changing a color code in the game. And then they come in for drops, they watch for 2 hours, 4 hours, whatever. Hey, that looks fun. They're watching the stream. That looks entertaining. That Hou-Yi, that was a sick Hou-Yi play. I want to play Hou-Yi now. You get people to come play the game through that. That is another fact. I have tons of comments on it. People have come in. Hey, I saw you playing Artemis on stream. And now I'm playing the game. You can do that if you can get people to watch content. HiRez not acknowledging that blows my mind. Once again, whoever is in charge of marketing, I genuinely don't know who it is. I've never known who like the marketing lead is. It's embarrassing. Like from my perspective, it is genuinely embarrassing. Very, very sad thing to see, to be honest. And I know Reddit, everybody poops on other marketing is bad. I don't mean like, hey, they need ads on Snapchat and everything. I'm talking about how they're running the genuine like get people to play marketing, which isn't traditional like TV ads. That's not what works. And it's not paying a big giant streamer to come play your game for 2 hours. That doesn't work. You can't get Tim the Tatman, the Warzone player, to play Smite, and then his Warzone people want to come play Smite. That's not happening, and I don't know why that's not more obvious. So player base low, content numbers low. The main question I get when I start talking about this on stream or if I bring it up somewhere is how do you fix it? I don't know that they can. Like last time it was very obvious they had to fix the game. The gameplay had to be better, and then that's how they fix it, which they did. And they fixed the player base. They got higher numbers. They're starting to lose that now. I believe the potential solutions are a mix of a couple things at the same time. You need hype in the game. It's like hype up the game and get people to be interested in what's in the game, to come play the game, to try the things in the game. You need a 3-god or 4-god drop. You need a multiple god drop, meaning we don't just get Xbalanque with a week later aspect. That is so... I'm sorry, they made Xbalanque better, but it's still so boring. It is not getting people to play the game. Patch day isn't filled with a ton of players. Nobody cares. So obviously what you're doing isn't working. It's time to just change things. Like you did good up to this point, but you can't just become complacent with what you've done. It's time to fully change things up, in my opinion. They need a 3-god patch. They probably got to go back to a monthly patch instead of every 2 weeks. So that means the game will fall off a bit for a while and then have it spike and then maintain its spikes. 3-god drop. Two gods that Smite people really want, that were really popular in Smite 1, and then a new god. And they need to maintain that. We need to maintain new gods more than we've been getting. I realize they've had problems. They were going to drop Haster and had issues. I think the next god's supposed to be Balder, or I think Balder. I don't know, something like that. Let's see if we get it. I don't know. They need to have something that hypes up. Hey, look at this big drop. All these gods to come try and play. Look at how exciting they are, right? On top of that, with a new god drop, they're going to need a new map. A new map has always been something that was exciting in Smite 1. There's no way it wouldn't be exciting in Smite 2. We've been playing the same map for a year and a month, a year and a month or two, right? Outside of that, just a basic edition items. They need fun, exciting items, not these basic, like Lash, the solo lane item they put in. It's so basic that it's boring. There's nothing exciting about it. There's no counterplay around it. There's no like, I'm going to do this to do this cool thing in the game. It doesn't happen. There's no fun. Example. A lot of people don't realize this, but Fortnite originally was a PvE like building game. It was terrible. As a last ditch effort, they made a BR. I don't think they expected anything of it. And when it came out, no one really cared. A little bit, it had some players, but it wasn't tens of thousands. It was very low. Then a couple months in, Ninja and I think it was Ninja and somebody else figured out rocket riding. That clip went viral the night he figured out rocket riding. The next day, the game's player numbers like quadrupled. And then those kind of things kept happening. Fun things in the game were figured out, shown off, content, game blew up. We lack that in Smite. There's like nothing fun. I think the last fun thing I did was 360ing off of a tornado off the little whirlwind things on the ground. I'm glad they left those in the game. At first I wasn't sure about them. I think they're fun now. Nothing like that has been put in the game, or even like that's not even a big one. That's a very low tier one. Nothing fun has been put in the game. Nothing, like literally nothing cool, fun, exciting. If you can't pull someone in who doesn't play Smite and see it and be like, oh, that's pretty cool. Like I might not play the game, but that's cool. Then you're doing something wrong as a developer. I can watch something happen in League or Dota and be like, that was a cool play. But I'm not gonna play the game, but I can acknowledge like that was a fun game. It made me want to watch it, right? The next thing is they have to announce an SPL. We do not need to go back to in-person where HiRez is dropping millions of dollars on salary. None of that. No salary, nothing. You just need, hey, here is a tournament structure. You'll play online for X amount of months. The top teams will qualify to go play at a LAN, which isn't a viewing LAN. People won't be there. It'll just be a LAN at our studios. You'll play. The top 2 teams from here will go to Worlds at the end of the year. Then you have a couple more months, same thing, rinse, repeat. Top 2 teams of this LAN will play the first 2 teams at the Worlds LAN, right? Then you put money on the Worlds LAN. Doesn't need to be a lot. Clearly, the $400,000 prize pools you guys kept doing were irrelevant because nobody cared. It didn't build any hype. If you can't do multi-millions, it's not going to build up hype. So just do a couple 100,000, 100,000, 200,000. Just pay out the top 2 teams so it's earned. And then those players can earn their living, have fun playing the game. And you could still have the illusion of a true SPL competitive scene like we used to have. It's enough. Like it's more than enough. We already dropped, I think, 60 to 100,000 in community tournaments, which failed horribly, miserably. And I don't really know why they did it. I wouldn't say I was consulted, but I talked to them about being one of the people that ran the tournaments. And it came down to, it was going to be like, Bobby was the one who, at the time, you guys didn't know Inbound, he was running regular tournaments at the time. And if I were picked, it would have taken away from him. So I told them, like, just let him have it, or see, like, maybe I'll go, like, if you want to do, both of us run the tournament. Like, I didn't want to take it from him. So it ended up, he ended up running one. Christy Dixon ran a 3v3 one, and then they ran an EU one. They reached 20K. At that point in time, when I was streaming, I had more viewers than they did running a $20,000 tournament. If we had just put that into a LAN, which I realized there are extra costs in a LAN. You have to pay for a lot to run a LAN. But if we had done that, you actually would have built up hype and you wouldn't have lost the entire competitive scene of your game. So I believe the SPL has to come back. Truly. I think it does. And then there are other little things they can do, but the drops, I think they need to start putting some work into their drops. Look at Rust, for example. Every time they put in a singular really cool drop, game blows up for like a month. The streamers come back and play. They do a big event around it. Just do a monthly reskin, and then once a year, do a really cool skin for a drop. That gets people watching your game, gets people playing your game, because they're, streamers are playing, people are making content, people are enjoying things. There's something for you to gain from watching. Then you realize, hey, I kind of want to play. I'm watching this game. I might as well play it. Do it, HiRez. I don't know why you're not doing it. It is embarrassing at this point. Now, I've been rambling. I wrote stuff down and tried to stay in an order. It's at the point now where your average streamer in Smite is at 100 or less viewers. I'm sitting at like 400 to 600 depending on what's going on. If we do Elo Hell, we're around 600. If we are just having a base day, probably like 450, closer to 500, but like 450. This is the worst viewership has ever been. It's worse than it is even close to ever in Smite 1. It's bad on YouTube. Shout out to you guys watching, by the way. This is not shitting on you guys in any way. It's just acknowledging the way things are. If the numbers keep dropping, your smaller streamers can't make a living playing the game. And then you're gonna see them leave. It just makes sense. Even for me, I can get 400 viewers on pretty much every other game that I play, especially if it's a new game. So if I'm not having fun because you're not creating in-game content and I'm not playing the game, and then your streamers right under me aren't playing the game, they're playing other games more, and they start seeing growth in other games, they're gonna swap games. You're gonna lose your content players, your content creators. You're gonna lose the communities around them, and then that's gonna trickle off players, and you're gonna see things get much worse. Just informing you. I hope HiRez watches the video. I know they used to watch stuff, so I'm gonna assume they're gonna watch this. There's no reason for you not to do a lot of these things. I realize the multi-god drop is very, it's a lot of work, right? Things will have to change. I released a new map, ton of work. I think people have said you guys have been building a new map for a while. I wouldn't really expect a new map till like January, February, but your game is gonna bleed horribly over the next 3 months if you don't do something. I'm giving you what I think is the overall fix to just go back to normal, and then I'm giving you a quick solution for content, which you should be able to implement in 5 minutes. Like every other game does it. You're the only game they're literally the only game that I'm a part of community-wise that doesn't support their creators. It's crazy. Even since Isaiah died. Oh, wow. We gotta edit that. I was gonna say the Discord died. Ever since Isaiah left, Isaiah's live. He's playing every game. The Discord for content ambassadors is dead. I'm sitting in, a Borderlands content creator Discord, like the one they invited us to. I'm in Super People One. I'm in like a bunch of different games. I get announcements and stuff all the time. On top of that, they have really high tier drops all the time. They do sub to streamers, get drops all the time. Smite is the only game I've ever seen that was originally built on the community and having heavy community engagement that just does nothing for the community. And if your rebuttal is, well, we get like 5 skins or maybe it's 6 skins each every patch. Those skins are irrelevant because you give them to a ton of people that do not create content. So there's a million of them going around and they just get given away on Twitter. Nobody cares. There's no excitement around it. That's your entire support. You don't even give, like, I don't even get diamonds in game anymore. Like, you do nothing for your creators. In my mind, you are very disconnected from the community and your game is bleeding because of it. I wanted to make this video to talk about it because I've talked about it so much on stream. I wanted to be able to say, hey, go watch this video if you know what's up. I am going to be still making Smite content because I enjoy the game. My stream will probably be less Smite every single day. I still, you know, be regular, but I might not play for the entire 5-hour stream. I might play 2-3 hours, swap games, whatever. My YouTube, still gonna do, I'm doing A to Z. We're finishing it. we're finishing it 100%, but we're gonna maintain Smite YouTube content. I'm starting tomorrow. I'll announce it and like talk to you guys more about it once I've really fully committed to what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna be really consistent with content on other things, not necessarily another game. There's no other game that I want to grind right now. In October, I'm going to grind Arc Raiders. I think that's the end of October. I think that game is going to be a really big game. I think it's fun and there'll be a lot of content to be made around it, but I'm going to start putting time into some other types of content. I've realized over the years that with the things people like, the conversations I have in stream, there are things I could easily talk about that would be cool to have content on that I enjoy. Like, I like giving advice and helping people. It doesn't have to be video games. And being able to do that with like real life stuff, I think I'm going to dive a little more into that stuff as a secondary thing. So I'll tell you guys more about that when it's coming. Tomorrow, I'm recording this on Wednesday. On Thursday is where I want to start that journey, I guess, or like actually commit to doing it every day. So I'll tell you more about it once I'm there. Hopefully this video, HiRez sees it and they do something, because it's really sad to watch and basically just see this game that you actually saved fall apart in a different area of the video game development. Hit the like button, make sure you subscribed. I'll see you on the video tomorrow, the next day, and the next day.